It's having technical issues. All right, so the plan tonight, I've been thinking about another little like one-off side project. And on the off chance anyone ever starts viewing out there, let me know if the music's too loud or too quiet. Okay, sorry. So there's a coffee place here in Culver City that has one of these things on the wall. And they're very cool. What's a big one? Let me see a short one. Or see a small one. So this is the one that I want to try to create a version of. Here, I'll show you the video. So it's pretty nifty. The way that it moves is very unique, but the general idea, I think, of using clocks to create numbers out of them isn't too doesn't seem too elaborate or complicated. It's just a bunch of clocks. What makes it cool is all the kind of unique motion and stuff. So that's kind of the hard part. That's the part that my wife thinks is probably the biggest, most complicated part of it, which it might be. But we're gonna start small. They're talking on this song. Why would anyone ever put a song with talking on it and a thing for streaming music? That doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, so I've already kind of been thinking about how I build this out all day. So I'm going to kind of lead you through my thinking. I'm going to turn the music down a little bit more. It's a little distracting. Okay, so I'm going to take a screenshot of this thing. I'm going to stick it into FigJam. All right, so the smallest unknown, I feel like I've built stuff in SpriteKit before. Like I've built this thing called Aeon Garden. I built this out of SpriteKit. Is there a YouTube video? Cool music. Anyway, so I built this with SpriteKit where it's got like a bunch of sprites. They're all moving around, they're rotating, they're doing all sorts of complicated stuff. So I'm already pretty familiar with SpriteKit. I also built Lifesaver out of SpriteKit, which is pretty simple. And this uses like SpriteKit actions, or I don't remember what they're called now. There's going to be a lot of me relearning how to do stuff as I build this project out. But anyway, so I built a couple of things out of SpriteKit, so I don't really need to relearn too much SpriteKit stuff. But I've never built a clock out of SpriteKit. So I feel like the smallest initial piece of work is going to just be building something like, I just need to draw. Can I just do a little outline? Is it possible to do like a hollow outline? I don't know. All right, well, anyway, we'll just say the smallest component of work is this. It's one clock. So we're going to call this clock node, because in SpriteKit, everything's called node. They're like sprite nodes and so on. So we're going to have one clock node. And this clock node, as far as I can think right now, it really just has two attributes. You know, like we don't really need to give it a time because the clock itself isn't really a clock. It's really just two hands that move independently. It does look like one hand is slightly shorter than the other one, but you know, we'll worry about that when we come to it. So you've got one clock node and it's got two hands, and each hand has probably a 360-degree position, you know, for its rotation or whatever. So, you know, in this case, you know, this one is, 90. This is 90. Got an email. And this one's 180. Yeah, so you got 90 and 180, and then this one is probably 270, 180 and 270. This one's 90 and 180, and so on and so forth. So that's like a very, very basic data model for the clock node, I think. So that's what I'm going to start off building today, but just to keep kind of going on, you know, if we look at this thing, it's technically 4 segments, you know, it's 4 numbers. So we can split it up this way too. I'm just going to do this real sloppy. You know, each one of these is a number. And so we'll call this, I don't know, we'll call this what number node? Oops. Can I just copy this and paste it? There we go. Number node, number node, and number node. And so we can see easily right here that each number node is actually composed of 6 clock nodes. And then each clock node has its own 90, 180. And so we can just think of this as an array. You know, I'm gonna build some brackets around it. I should use a different color for this. You know, I'll do that. So, you know, we can think of a number node as containing an array of clock nodes. No, we don't need that last one. All right, so we have our array of clock nodes. And so then, for example, to get really deep in the weeds, you know, a number node that needs to display a specific number is really just an array of tuples. You know, so for example, this number 0 could be defined as 90, 180, 180. You know, we're gonna have to decide which is first. Is the minute hand first or the hour hand first? It looks like with the first one I did the minute hand first, so in that case it's going to be 270, 180, and then that one's 0. No, it's 180, 0, and then same there, 180, 0, and then that one it looks like the minute hand is 90, 90, 0, and then the last one it looks like 270, 270, 0. So we'll call this example of the number 0. Example data model of the number 0. So that's kind of what I've been thinking about all day today, is that, you know, deep down, there's 4 segments for 4 numbers, and each segment is composed of 6 clocks. And then the position of the hands in each of those clocks is the rotation of the hands. So now all we have to do is build it. But I feel like I need to go to the bathroom. So hold on a quick second. I'm going to take a quick break. All right, I've returned, and I've turned off the music for streamer stuff. I'm just using the Riot stuff, which seems better. All right, so anyway, so in summary, step one is to start getting this clock node working. And once we get that working, then we can start worrying about unique animations and all that other cool stuff, because the clock does do some cool animations. But I think step one is just getting the general display working in any sort of form. So we'll name this MultiClock Screensaver. All right, so we'll keep this up on screen. Is there a way to hide this thing? Can I hide the toolbar? I kind of doubt it. Keyboard shortcuts. Show hide UI. Oh, there we go. Cool. All right, so I'll put a little need to move these. And I'll put some extra text here. And what we're building. All right. Let's dive in. I'll create a new Xcode project. It didn't ask me what kind of project. Is it going to do that? Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. So, screensaver preset. What's this going to make? I don't feel like this is going to be using Swift if I do this. Let's call this test for a second. Maybe I'll just Google Xcode screensaver preset. Oh yeah, just all uses Objective-C probably still, so we're not going to do this. Sprite Kit even a thing anymore? I guess we'll call it game. Call it MultiClock Saver. Let's find Swift using Sprite Kit. No, we don't need tests or gameplay kit. And then I'll create it in my coding folder. I hope this puts it in a folder. Let's find out. Is that the wrong way? Nope. Can't go to a folder like this? Nope, apparently not. Spotlight sucks. Okay, I did put it in a MultiClock Saver folder, so that's good. All right, so let's just see what this opens up with. We're gonna put this in utilities. Nah, it doesn't really matter for now. I don't know what I'm thinking about that. All right, let's see what happens if I run this. The idea is that if we just build this as like a Mac OS app, then we can just turn it into a screensaver afterwards instead of kind of worrying about, I don't really want to worry about all the screensaver parts of it just yet. I want to just get it working. Okay, so it just says hello world. Does it do anything? Okay, if you click around, it does stuff. Nifty. All right, look in the app delegate and make all this bigger. Nothing in app delegate. Game scene's got hello world in it. We don't need this. We don't need a game scene. We're gonna get rid of that. Game scene's good if you're like building prefab like levels and stuff like that, kind of. Or you have like one kind of overworld. We don't need it. We don't need actions either. I'm gonna delete that. View controller probably just loads the scene. Yeah. This is doing some stuff. We don't need any. Don't need any of this. Oops. Get labeled node from scene and store it for use later. We don't need that. Touch down, make spinning nodes, touch up. Key down is supposed to do some stuff. We don't need that. All right, let's see if it still runs with all the stuff I deleted. Well, it doesn't do the spinning nodes anymore. I must have deleted too much stuff, but that's okay. We don't really need any of this. I'm just gonna get rid of it all. Don't need any of this. Did move to. All right, what's in the view controller? All right, assets. What's this main thing? Oh, we don't really need a storyboard, but I'm not going to delete it. And then this is like the P list info or something. All right, so the first thing we actually really need to do, I need to back up a second, and I need to load up Figma, because we're going to need Figma to create some of our assets. So we're going to start real simple. And let's create a frame. We just need a square frame because our clock's going to be square. That's not the create frame button. Create a frame. Let's create it an even 300 by 300. And then we're gonna want a circle, but we're gonna want like a cutout or something, but we don't really have to worry about that right now either. So those circles have very little padding between them. So we're gonna create a circle. We need to reverse this somehow. I don't really know how to do that in this, but we're just gonna fill it with white. And then we're gonna put an inner shadow on it. The inner shadow needs to be needs to come from the other angle. About 4? How about -4? I don't know how this works. This isn't really important at all. Okay, what if I do -10? Okay, there we go. Now we're starting to get somewhere. I'll do -10. We'll do a roll. Oh wait, I want this. Oh shit! Some bullshit. Okay, we want this one to be 10. There we go. And we want the spread to be. Let's do 10. Let's knock this back down to 25. Do a big blur. Okay, so let's do 3 and -3. Lower that spread. There we go. We've already got part of clock. You know, we're ideally, when it comes down to generating the drop shadows for real, we're not going to use SVGs for it, probably. Hopefully not. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. I don't know. Okay, so now we need the minute and hour hands. It'd actually be really helpful if I had like a ruler or something. Are there rulers in this? They make a ruler. I guess it doesn't really matter. What we want. How thick do those look? Those look pretty thicky. So center it. Cool if I get it. There we go. Just because what we really want is we want one of the corners to be rounded. Let's say the width is 15, and then both of these should be rounded. There we go. All right, and then let's just duplicate this and make it a little bit shorter. Well, we don't want it to. We don't need it to. Yeah, why is it constraining proportions? We really just need to make it shorter. Let's make this first one 140 even. And then this one can be 120. All right. All right, and we want to make sure that these are perfectly centered. There must be a way for me to do rulers or something. Do a little quick Google. Figma rulers. Oops, Figma rules. It's true, but add guide to the canvas. Video, I don't need a Shift R. Nope, wrong button. Shift R? Ah, there we go. All right. So I need that to stick to the center. And then we need to make sure that our, I want it to be like right on the, there we go. That looks pretty good. All right, so let me move this other one. All right, now let's look at the sizes of these. So I feel like this needs to be a bit bigger. Why is it acting like, why is it trying to size up? That's very annoying. Go with 130 and then put this back down at 15. And then we got to recenter this shit. There we go. Okay, so now the idea, let me color these pure black, my bad. Pure black. Doesn't really matter because we can recolor them in SpriteKit when we're actually using them. Okay, so we'll call this one minute hand. And we'll call this one hour hand. All right. So now the idea is that when we actually need to use these, we can just do something like this. Ooh, that's not right. Because these need to be in a frame that's as big as the entire clock itself. So we need to frame the selection, and then we need to modify the frame to be as big as everything else. So how big is our main frame? Clock hour container. All right, so our whole clock is 300 by 300, so our hour hand container needs to also be 300 by 300. Okay, and then we need to move this frame over here and then move the thing inside of it back to where we want it. Okay, it's acting like something's off center here, which is making me mad. It said 0, 0. Okay, the hour hands. So is that the true center and this other hand's off center? Let's bring in another ruler. Okay, all right, so I guess before it was off center. That looks off center to me, don't it? Doesn't it look off center to you? I guess it's because I'm using I should have made these, something that's evenly divisible in half, so maybe they should be 16. All right, which means that these need to be 8 and 8. All right, and then this one also needs to be 16, 8 and 8. Yeah, that looks good. All right, let's try this again. So if we want to rotate this, let's rotate this by 180. There we go. All right. Or like as our example, let's do 90. 90 rotated the opposite direction I expect it to rotate. But that's a Figma thing. So if we do minus 90, there we go. 90. All right, so now we need to do the same thing for the minute hand. We need to frame the selection. Oh, first let's undo the rotates. All right, and then now let's frame the selection, put the frame at 0, 0, 300 by 300. Oh, hi Gigi. How are you doing? I'm trying to build a virtual version of this cool clock thing. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I don't have the good quality camera on today, but so you can't really see it in all its glory. I haven't shaved or trimmed it for probably a good, I don't know, 5 or 6 months. So it's real scraggly around the edges, but it's looking okay. Hello, Nikki. How goes the wedding planning? Is it still all encompassing, or have you planned all the things and there's nothing left to plan? Oops. Move these down a little bit. She's planned everything. Well, that's good. All right, I just want to make sure that these like circles are good. Like if I do a 16 by 16 circle and center it in this thing, does that match up with my... Let's make this red. And then put it under everything else. What is that ellipse? Oh, oops. All right. Okay, so that's my perfectly centered circle, and we can see that my watch hands are not lined up. There we go. All right. All right, so now we got both of our minute hand. We got our hour hand and our minute hand set up. Turn these to black. All right, let's export this. We'll export the whole thing kind of just for fun too. So hour hand. Export. We want it to be... I think Xcode takes SVGs now? We'll find out. Our preview, that looks good to me. We'll call this hour hand. And then we'll export the minute hand as well. Call this minute hand SVG. All right. And then Finder. I will drag these into Xcode. Can't see me do it, but there we go. Looks like it didn't mind. So we need to do a little setup in here. It's hard to show this on screen, but we can do render as template image. You don't really need to do this. We'll do preserve vector data, and then let's see, scales. It's a single scale because it's universal. And we do the same thing over here for this. We do template image, preserve vector data. Got some very barky doggies. Very barky doggies going crazy. All right, so now we've got our square, hour hands, and minute hands. So let's start trying to, first up, let's see what draws on screen right now when we load up the clock screensaver, or when we load up the application. My wife's back there going, who farted? Who farted? Was it you? Did you fart? Okay. All right, so let's try to just create a, well, we know we're gonna need a clock node. So first up, let me, oh, yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself. Before creating the actual class, let's just try to do it real sloppy. I'm gonna need to load up one of my old projects just so I can look at the way that I did some things. So let's take a look at Lifesaver. Let's see, override function scene did load. Let's do this. Override func scene did load. Background color black. See if this works. Okay, no, I don't see anything that suggests there's a black background going on there. All right. Oh, I think it's because I don't set the background color there. Oh, look, background node, SK sprite node. That's interesting. Is that necessary? Set SK scene background color. So this is just a background color. What if I do this too? Probably need to set a node. I bet it's something like I need to actually set the background color. What if I do this is fun so far, right? Super fun. I'm just going to do the weird thing that I did over here where I created a background node, SK sprite node. Cool if I could do, I think you can actually, I'm going to do something hacky right now. SK shape node. And we're going to do points. Interesting. Rect. So a rect in our frame. CG rect already. I'm going to do background. Oh, it didn't ask me color. Why is the... Oh, because I probably have... Oh, there we go, private. And then add child. happens if I run all this? Oh, because this needs to be an SK shape node. SK shape node has no fill color. There we go. Well, we know it's set because I was just working on it. Still don't have a black background. Okay, so we've already run into problems. I probably need to do this. Copy this. It doesn't need to. Here. So this frame width divided by 2, frame height divided by 2 is going to mean that it should be centered in the view. Still don't see anything. All right. All right, so I'm already having a good time because I'm already having issues. And yeah, it's weird. So I want to make sure it's actually like loading up my game scene. I wonder if I can see anything. Does this not work on Mac OS? It should at least tell me if like the nodes are loading, or it says 0 nodes, so something's not working right. Oh, it's trying to load it from game scene SKS. So I already screwed up a little bit. I need to go into Mac OS, view controller. Oh, there you go. Let scene equals life scene. Okay, so if let scene. So I need to undo some stuff here. And then do what's even like oh, okay. Let SK view equal view. Why am I having to do this? It's got the SK view there. Well, let's see what happens now. Okay, there we go. We've got our black background. We actually have 2 nodes, which is interesting. Oh, it's probably because Well, here, let's just get rid of this for now. Let's see if the background color works. Okay, all right, so we've got a black background. That's what we really wanted deep down. All right, so we're on our way. And we really don't want a black background, we want a white background. Okay, there we go. We've got our white background. For fun, let's create a let clock node equals sk node. Doesn't really need anything. And then to Xcode node, we need to let our hand node equal sk sprite node image name, file name. Okay. We really want to use a shared texture. Hold on a second, let me find that real quick. Just to future-proof this a little bit better. I wonder where I leave those. Texture, square texture. All right, where's square texture from? Is it possible for me to search? There we go, file grabber, sk texture. All right, for now we're gonna do private let our hand texture equals sk texture. Image name, what did I name it? Our hand. I wonder if this creates an optional. It doesn't seem to. All right, sk sprite node with the texture of our hand texture. And then clock node add child is going to be our hand node. Actually, we should make this. Is there like a frame? Is there a way to like set frame? Yeah, we'll see. Oh, frame actually moves it around. Yeah, why not? We'll do XY 300, 300. No, you can't assign to a frame. Can I set frame? I don't remember how you set a size on oh, just size. Size? Maybe SK node doesn't have a size because it's Well, anyway, our hand node size. What's it supposed to be? It says it's a CG size. So with 300, height 300. Let's just add this clock node. Child clock node. Let's see if it comes up. Okay, I don't see anything. Do you see anything? I don't. The sprite's color. Let's go with black. Let's try again. Man, for dinner, me and Andy went to a place called Monty's Good Burger, where it's like vegan, all vegan stuff. So vegan burgers made with Impossible patties, and the burger wasn't bad. It's supposed to be kind of like a vegan version of In-N-Out or something. But man, it's toying with my insides. Not a big fan so far. Okay, so I don't know where the clock node is. Let's move the clock node somewhere. Clock node position. See, is it a point? Is it CG point? CG point. Let's try to put it in the middle of the screen as best we can. So again, we're going to do frame width divided by 2, and then frame height divided by 2. Okay, there we go. We've got a hand in the middle of the screen. Wonder if there's a way to is there a way to do like an outline? Clock node, outline, draw, no. There, color. I'm just gonna look at what properties Xcode has. Use as a container or layout tool for other nodes. For example, you might add a collection of nodes as children to a Xcode node that all move together within the scene. Changing the parent node's property propagates to the change to its children. Doesn't change draw any content itself. Its visual counterpoints are listed in the nodes that draw. I'm going to open the docs for this. Calculate accumulated frame. Oh, that's interesting. Set scale so I can scale it. So the SK node itself has no width or height or anything. It's just basically like a little helper, thing. All right. So let's comment this a little bit. Add hour hand. Now let's add the minute hand. This will be the same shit. Minute house hand. Minute hand node equals SK sprite node. Let me go up here real quick. Yeah, we're gonna change this to minute hand. And this is called minute hand, I'm pretty sure. Let's look at the assets. Minute hand, yep. Minute hand texture. Minute hand node color equals not black. Well, let's do red right now for fun. Clock node add child, minute hand node, and then minute hand node size equals CG size 300 by 300. See what that looks like. We don't see it. I wonder if it's. Oh, hold on a second. Let's comment this out. Run it again. Okay, so it's showing up. It's just not coloring it black. Probably because we need to set some sort of setting to change the sprite color. SK sprite node change texture color. How do I change the color of an SK sprite node? Color, white color. Oh, we need to set color blend factor. Let's do 1. And then color blend factor of 1 here. Let's try it again. Oops. I just want to see a red minute hand. That's all I want. Nope, not red yet. creating a solid colored sprite. Tinting a sprite. Let's look at these docs. Oh, I think it's because my sprites are black and they're not white. So let's actually, let's come back in here and turn everything white. All right, we're gonna want to export these again. Oh, that's wrong. Gotta overwrite the other ones. Why is it? Oh, we don't want, yeah, what is it doing? All right, it's an hour hand SVG, overwrite, minute hand SVG, overwrite, come back in here. All right, gotta swap these out again. Why is it acting like they're... Okay, I mean, it looks right to me. Oops, damn it. Gonna swap out this minute hand for a white one. And then swap out this hour hand for a white one. Okay, let's try this again. Hopefully in this case now we've got a... There we go, we've got a red minute hand. Making progress. All right. Let's make sure that our hour hand is showing up. All right, so it looks like, okay, I don't really know how to tell time, so I always get confused that the minute hand is longer than the hour hand. It seems like a question of importance. Isn't the hour more important? Shouldn't it be longer? But that's not how a clock works. So anyway, just for shiggles, let's make these spin around. All right, so I've kind of forgotten the API for doing SK actions. Andy Andy messaged me a bit ago to say GG's watching the stream. Minute hand is more important. Whatever, Dan. I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you. Because you have a general idea of the hour, but you're checking how far into it you are at a glance. But you can also figure out how far you are into the hour based on the position of the hour hand. It's not like the hour hand is static on a number and then it snaps to the next number. You know, like you don't really need an hour hand if your clock is big enough. I mean, you don't need a minute hand if your clock is big enough because the hour hand like tells you, oh, you're like halfway through the hour or whatever. Boom. I just won that argument. Take that, Dan. Yeah, suck on that. How about them apples? This is my my Goodwill Hunting moment, my victory dance. Anyway, let me go back to my Lifesaver repo just so I can see how I did all the animations. Fade in. All right, well, let's do let's spin wantonly equals SK action. We want to like rotate by angle. It would be cool if I could just rotate it indefinitely. Is there not a We'll do rotate by, let's do 20. And we'll do 1 second. And then we'll do our hand node action. Oh, add? No. Our hand run. There we go. Spin wantonly. All right, let's run this, see what happens. There we go. Okay, so that was weird. But it spun in place, sort of. Doesn't look very good, does it? It looks a little. I mean, when they're both black, I guess it'll be less weird. Let's color the other one black and let's see what it looks like spinning around. All right, so we've got a little bit of spinning there. Just do it again for fun. For more fun, we could actually set this up to like a key down or something. So fun key down with event. Oh, whoops. Let's define these up here somewhere. And remove these. I'm defining these at the class level for now, just so that I can act on them. What does that mean? Why not? Cannot infer contextual base in reference to member black. Oh, poopy. Okay, we're already running into random little issues. So we're gonna say this is this, and we're gonna say we need a this is actually too much hassle for what I'm trying to do, what I'm doing this for. Oh, what a pain in the butt. I'm just giving up. I'm giving up on this specific part of it. Anyway, we've got a thing spinning. Doesn't seem perfect to me at the moment. Seems kind of like the circle is off center. But maybe there's a nuance to making clock hands that I don't know anything about yet. Isn't there like a run forever? Yeah, there's a. All right, now it'll spin forever. All right, it's spinning the wrong direction, isn't it? There you go. Now it's spinning the right way. All right, let's make the other one spin too. Let's spin wantonly 2 equals stay action, rotate by angle, we'll do -10. Beautiful. All right. It looks poopy on the stream because the stream's 20 FPS, so it's gonna look kind of shitty, I think. Cool. All right. So we've got the very basic beginnings of clock in place. Now we just need to refactor this into an actual, maybe a clock class that we can reuse. And as we do that, we'll figure out the other stuff that we want to do. All right, so we're on our way to creating the clock node. Create a new Swift file. I'm going to call it clock node. Actually, hold on. Let's back up. Let's try to create a Cocoa class. Let's see if it has sk node. There we go. Clock node. All right, so our clock node has a couple things. Let's split this view. Let's go back to the game scene. All right, so one thing we need to do is we need to define our textures someplace else. For now, we're just going to put them in our, let's put them in our app delegate because we're lazy. Or what? Maybe there's a better way. Sprite kit, store textures. Because I know I use textures in this project, and I use textures in Aeon Garden. Maybe I should look at what I do with Aeon Garden. Nodes. Aeon textures.swift. Okay, so I just have like a file that just has the textures in it. So we'll do that too. Why not? Let's do a Swift file called textures. And we'll just put these in here. Do I need anything else in there? Doesn't look like it. Oh, I need to do import sprite kit. And we don't need foundation. All right, let's see, does that work? Build failed. Oh, we need to import. Just see that the textures still work. Okay, textures are still working. All right, so we've got centralized textures. That's good. All right, next thing to do is we're gonna need some public properties on. Well, we don't know. We need private properties. Private minute position is gonna be a CG float, and by default it's 0. Private var, sorry, and then private var hour. No, we're gonna name it hour rotation. It's gonna be a CG float. By default is equal to 0. We're gonna name this minute rotation. Okay, and then we need some sort of init. When it's initted, we need to do something. Let's see if I do anything special. There's got to be some sort of init, right? Well, anyway, we need private let our hand. Are they lets? Okay, private let minute hand node sk sprite node equals sk sprite node texture of minute hand texture. Okay, back over here. custom init. Okay. So I think to do a custom init, we need this coder thing. Maybe we don't, but I'm gonna copy it over. Just some boilerplate, and then we just do a normal init. And then in our init, we want to, oh, why does it say I need a, override? I'll just do super init. All right, and then in here, we need to do all this stuff that we were doing elsewhere. So we need to do color blend factor is 1, our hand node color equals black, and then self. Oh, we don't need self. We need add child, our hand node, and then our hand node size equals CG size. Eventually, we'll change this to be dynamic, but for now, we're going to hard code it. And then we need to do the same stuff for the minute hand. Oop. This needs to be minute hand. Man, that vegan burger is really doing a number on me right now. I can tell you that. It's really confusing me. Okay, so that's all there. Chemicals are vegan. Okay, so now we should be able to get rid of most of this code. I'm going to keep these, but comment them out for now because we might want those somewhere else. Okay, so I can remove all this and say clock node should equal clock node. Now let's run it. It should still work. Should still do, oh, well. Oh, I didn't add it to the scene. Add child, clock node. Okay, all right, so we've successfully refactored all that out. Let's create a public method on here called rotate. Public, do I have to do func? Public func rotate. And then we're gonna take this out of here. And we're gonna put it in here. And then we're gonna do that key up thing. Func key up, and we're gonna do, we need access to this clock node. So we need to do private var clock node equals clock node. We're gonna get rid of this. Let's make sure this still works. Okay, still got the clock. All right. Rotate. All right, so now when we press the key on the keyboard and let go, it should start spinning. There we go. Okay. All right, so we've got our clock node. All right, I'm gonna take another quick break because I really feel like I'm about to poop my pants, or at the very least, just let out just a torrent of farts. So anyway, I'll be right back. All right. I took a poopy. Came out real quick, to its credit. Dan, is the music too loud or too quiet? Oh, maybe it's too quiet then. Oops. Here, how about now? Can you hear it now? Okay, all right. I had it turned real low. It's nice because it's playing out of the speakers in my room, but it's not coming up on the mic, so I can actually hear it without having to wear headphones. All right. Okay, so we've got a spinning clock. It rotates on command. That's not what we really want, though. We want it to we want it to rotate to specific positions. So I'm already annoyed that sprite kit's like XY coordinate system and degrees, or to me backwards. You know, like it goes counterclockwise, but whatever. Because what we really want is something like this. We want it to let's just get rid of all this real quick. We want something like this. Let's say we want it to I don't know. Say let's rotate the minute hand. Escape action. Rotate to angle -90 by duration 1. And then let's see what happens. That was weird. And that doesn't even look like -90. Okay, well, we need to maybe look up a little bit about what rotate does. The rotation property, it's a float. Oh. Okay, so I said -90, but I think what I really want is something that's more like 0 to 1. So I want 3/6. So I want 360 divided by 90. What does that give me? 360, 90. No. I want 90 divided by 360. Derp. 90 divided by 360. Let's see what this does. There we go. Again, that wasn't 90 degrees though. We're running into already the joy of Sprite Kit, because Sprite Kit, I forgot that Sprite Kit things don't start at 90. They start at like, if, hold on a second, let's do how do I log out to the console? Log, no, it's print. There you go, print minute hand node Z rotation. All right, so if we load this up and we hit the button, it should print in the console. Oh, so it does say 0. Okay. So let's rotate it. Let's rotate action equals xday action, rotate. So I want like 2 angle. What if we do 0.5? And we do 1 second. Okay, so 2 angle 0.5 moved it backwards. So it says CG flow, but it's not 0 to 1 clearly. In radians. Degrees to radians. Why not? Let's throw this extension somewhere. We're gonna throw this in here for now. All right, now we're gonna say what we want to do is we want to rotate it to CG float 90 degrees to radians. All right, let's see what happens now. Okay, we've got a 90. All right, I really want a minus 90, but can I do a minus 90? There we go. Okay, all right, so we've got something that can turn degrees into radians for us, which is nice. They still don't really look like they're rotating correctly to me. I don't like this little dip here, but I guess minus. If I do, what if I do 270? It's gonna rotate the other direction, isn't it? Yeah, it is. All right, so really I want minus 90. And then the other one, let's do, let's rotate action 2 equals xk action, rotate 2 angles, CG flow, to minus 180 degrees to radians, duration 1 second, hour, hand node, run, rotate, action 2. Cool. All right, so we've got a very basic rotating going on. All right, so what we really want is to be able to change this so that we can say minute angle, minute degrees. It should be a CG float, and an hour degrees should be a CG float. And then what we really want is this one's going on the minute, this one's going on the hour, and now we can do clock node rotate. We could say we want minus 180, minus 190. Cool. All right, so now we can put anything in here. We can say we want 15 and 203. Very cool. just want to make sure it always moves the right way. What if I do 290? Cool, very cool. So as a little, I just want to see, how do you add a drop shadow? SK sprite node drop shadow. Because really, for this clock to look cool, it really needs like the drop shadows and stuff. Use factory. Oh, add effect node. Oh, this SK light node. Example of a sprite. Interesting. Technically, sprites can automatically cast shadows. Let's look at it. SK light node tutorial. Does someone have any? Normal maps. Well, I don't have normal maps. I don't want to get into that. Hey, someone wants to do basically what I want to do. Thanks for your answer. There's no answer. That's useful. It says 3 replies, but I only see 2 replies. That's not useful. It looks like it's flatland shadows. You can't have the effect you want with SK Light Node. Remember that SK is a 2D platform. Your desired effect is 2D. Oh, shucks. I mean, it still might be cool to do some 2D shadows, but probably not. Lightning with Sprite Kit. I don't need to do lightning. I did drop shadows with, actually I don't think I did drop shadows with Aeon Garden. I did put shadows on the UI. Yeah, I didn't put shadows on the sprites. Well, let's just mess around for a second. No, that's not helpful. I think a problem with shadows that I'm going to run into almost immediately is going to be if I know it's doing a blur. might have to do shadows manually somehow by creating a sprite of the shadow and then keeping track. Ugh, it's gonna be gross. It's not even how shadows really should work. I guess I'm gonna have to think about drop shadows later, because right now that's actually a big problem. And if I really want to do, if I want to do drop shadows properly, I might have to actually create sprites for every position of the minute and hour hand, and then actually animate these as sprites, and not rotating like a pre-made sprite, but actually running through a sprite animation of the hands moving around, which is less cool because I wanted to maybe make the shadow more dynamic. Like you could possibly like change the angle of the sun or something. So anyway, for right now, I'm just not going to worry about the drop shadow. It's not really, I mean, I feel like it's definitely a necessary part of the display, but I'm going to have to worry about that later, I think. Right now we have some other fish to fry. Like we need several of these. We need at least 6 of them all lined up. Let's see. When I did my init over here, I never overrode the primary init. Doesn't look like it. We're gonna do size. This needs to be size height, size width. Oh, it's dumb. I could just pass in size. Burp. I need to create a new CG size. All right, so let's make this smaller. It's weird. Is there a super init in here? Oh, there is. My bad. All right, and then this needs a size. CG size. Let's make this one smaller. This one 100 by 100. Just make sure it still works. Build failed. Xcoder. That is not what we want. Clock node size. There we go. 100 by 100. Okay, we've got a smaller clock, and it still rotates. Ooh, looks hella aliased as it's rotating. Look at that. Yeah, that doesn't look very good, does it? I'm not sure if that's my problem or not. It's supposed to just be re-rendering the SVG. Maybe it's just because the window's so small. Come in here real quick. Let's make this bigger. Let's make this view controller bigger. Can I just drag it? Ooh, that's weird. Do all that. That didn't look right at all. All right, so we got some other problems to figure out, but for right now, let's do the next thing. Let's do this number node. make a new class. We're gonna call it, let me cluster node, number cluster node. Similar to our clock node over here. Oh, I didn't mean to make a breakpoint. Don't need foundation, don't need Cocoa in here either. All right, class, number cluster node, SK node. All right, and this needs an array of clocks in it. Private var clocks equals an array of clock nodes, and by default we need 6 clock nodes, but we'll worry about that. I don't think I need to do that for an empty array. All right, and we're going to do another init with the size of CG size. Do a super init. And we need to populate all those clocks. So let's add that. I knew in the other class that we needed this little break, this thing that will break. All right, so let's create these clocks. We know we need 6 of them. So I could just do clocks equals array and then set up all the clocks, but I guess I'll do a for loop. It's been a long time since I've done a for loop. For loop in Swift, or for loop Swift range. Or item and items, it's our range. For in, okay, so for in what we want. We don't really need this. I want to do 6 times. Size should be, we'll just do 100 by 100 right now. And then at the end of this, let's just print clocks just to make sure that it's working. Let's come back over to our game scene. And instead of initializing a clock node, we're going to get rid of this key up for now. I'm going to say let cluster equals number cluster node. Size we don't really need to worry about yet, so I'll just put in some garbage here. Cluster. I just want to see. There we go. Okay, so it shows me that it definitely created 6 clocks. And then each clock we actually want to, well, we'll worry about that in a second. I have to urinate now because I drank a ton of water. Hold on a second, I'll be right back. Right, I have returned. Okay. Where'd my mouse go? All right, there we go. All right, so now we've got all these clocks. We need to lay them out on screen. So let me just real quick background. Wait, color? Can I do a color? No, I can't do a color on this because still going to center it. We know that we actually want this to be, wait, let's do 300 and then what's 150 times 3? 450? Maybe I should name it clock size. I don't know. We'll figure this out. Why isn't this working? Oh, there we go. That was weird. So this, we know we want this to be size width divided by 2 and size height divided by 3. Okay. And so then we're going to do this maybe a little sloppy. Let's see, I want... Isn't there a way for me to do clocks for each? There we go. And then we want to do add child node. Let's just see what happens with this. It should look like we just have one clock on screen. Okay, it looks like we have one clock on screen, but that's not really, it's not what really is really going on. You really have 6 clocks on screen, you just can't see them. So I'm going to do this a little sloppy at first, and then we can try to refactor it to make it look nicer later. Because what I really want to do is clocks 0, the first clock, position. I want it to be CG point. I mean, this one I definitely wanted 0, 0, right? And then the second one, I want it to be at CG point X size width divided by 2y 0. All right, let's see if that works. We should have 2 clocks next to each other. All right, we're getting there. All right, and so then the next segment is the second clock, or the third clock, and we want this one to be CG point X equals size, oh, we want this one on 0, and then Y should be size height divided by 3. Just see if that works. Okay, it went up. We don't want up, we want down. So let's minus it. All right, got it going down. So you can tell we already kind of have a little problem with our positioning, but we'll come back to that. And so then clocks 3 position equals CG point X size width divided by 2 and then minus size height divided by 3. Okay, we've got 4. We're just going to copy this, do 4 and 5, and then this needs to actually be like times 2, right? There we go. Okay, so we've got 6 clocks all lined up for our number segment. Problem is the CG point is a little weird. So right now we'll just put it up in the top right corner. Oh, that put it in the bottom. Ugh. Frame height. If we try this. So the annoying thing about, it's not what I want either. I want this to be 0 and I want this to be frame height. Okay. Still not what we want. It doesn't look right, does it? So what's the problem? I think the problem is that the XY coordinate system in SpriteKit is real weird. So SpriteKit coordinates. I think one thing we need to do is we need to set the I learned all this stuff about SpriteKit coordinates before, and it's still to change the anchor point. I think that's what I need to do. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I don't think the SK node itself doesn't have an anchor point, so I need to change the anchor point on each of the clocks actually. There was some way for me to change the anchor point. I don't understand. SpriteKit's annoying. All right, so at least we've got 6 on screen in one place. I'll worry about the positioning stuff later. Okay, so now what we really want to be able to do is we want to do something like this. Func, let's do key up. We want to do something like this: cluster set number, and we want to say number 5. And then when we do that command, we want all the clocks to move until they show the number 5. So first up, let's make sure this works. Okay. So let's go down here and say set public func set number. Number equals integer. Okay. All right, so this isn't going to do anything yet. We'll just do print number just for fun. All right, I see it's sending the command. All right. So now something that we need is we need kind of like see this example data model down here, the number 0. We need the same thing for all the numbers that we possibly might set. So for now, I'm just going to cheat. I'm going to say private var number config, and this is an array, or it's actually a dictionary of integers to a tuple. How do you do a tuple? Swift tuple. A tuple is a comma separated list enclosed in parentheses. This isn't what I want. Tuple in Swift. John Smith. First person. Oh, you can have a named tuple. That's cool. I don't really need a named tuple. All right. Int. Right. So we'll say number 5. Oh no, it's going to be an array of tuples, right? So number 5 is going to look like something like this. Did I do this wrong? Okay. All right, so let's look at this number 5 and try to translate it into our Bizarro pattern. So number 1, that looks like it's isn't that minus 90, minus 180, and then that one is, gotta remember we're doing what is that? The clock node rotate, it's minute hand, right? Minute hand first, minute, yeah. Okay. All right, so actually our minute hand is minus 180 and our hour hand is minus 90. All right, and then our next one, they're both minus 270. Okay, let's make sure this still builds. All right, so we'll do a quick little test. Let found. Let's do if let found number. No, we'll do if let number config equals number. We need this to be named number configs. There we go. Number configs number. And now we do number config for. It'd be cool if the for each gave us the index. Swift for each with index number. For index item and array enumerated. Okay, that's cool. So we'll try this out. We'll do for index item in number config enumerated. So now what we want to do, we want to get so clocks, index, rotate, and then we want item 0 and then item 1. No exact matches to call. We know what all the clocks are. Clocks are clock nodes. Why are you acting like you don't know what they are? Index should be a integer. Yeah, that's right. Oop, sorry, smacked the mic. Interesting. What's on that? All right. Well, we'll make this a little bit more complicated. We'll say if let found clock equals clocks. Does that work? It's not optional. Oh, minute degrees needs to be, it doesn't need to be a float, it needs to be an integer. I think that's probably what the problem was. All right, let's see how bad this works. Oh, hey, look at that. It seems like we kind of know what we're doing here. Okay, all right. So let's fill out the other positions. Okay, so the next one is clearly the minute hand is 0, and the hour hand is -90, and the next one, the minute hand is -270. The hour hand is -180. The next one, both are pointed the same way, so they're both -90. And the last one is minute hand is -270. I did a 280 up here for some reason. -270 and 0 for the hour hand. All right, let's see how this works. Oh, look at that. I've got the number 5. Oh, wow, look at all the progress we've made already. How great is that? Everything's working out exactly as planned. So that's cool. Let's Geez. Well, I mean, we've got a couple things to do here. We need to, you know, create all these. Seven, 8, and 9. I just kind of want to watch this happen again. So the actual clock itself, obviously, it doesn't just move straight to the other number. It does some sort of cool animation thing where it like makes all the clocks spin around all randomly and then goes from there. But we'll figure that out later. I feel like one thing I want to add really quick is I want to add the outside of the clock. So this clock outline. So I'm gonna hide these, and let's see if I can export this as an SVG and have it look okay. Come over here. Put this clock face in here. That doesn't look right, does it? That doesn't look right, but let's keep on keeping on and see what happens. Okay, I somehow stretched my Xcode too big. That's what she said. Inherited, renders, template image, scale, single scale. Yeah, it's weird that it's not showing up properly in the thing. If we look at it, it shows up fine there. All right, let's go into our clock node, and we want to set. Oh, actually, let's go to our textures because we want to set a texture to this. Let clock face texture equals SK texture, image named clock face. We want to go to our clock face, private let clock face node equals SK sprite node, SK sprite texture clock face texture. All right. And we want to do, what if we just add child clock face node, clock face node size equals size, and then clock face node position equals doesn't seem like I actually need to do a position, do I? Let's see what this looks like. I've got a problem. Okay, so for some reason the shadow on the SVG isn't showing up. Maybe if I save it as a PDF. Okay, the shadow's showing up there. So let's try to build it again. Okay, there we go. And then if I hit a key, all right. So we've got an extremely ugly version of one letter working. And it really just doesn't look right, does it? It doesn't look right at all. Looks a little squished. So something's wrong with my sizing somewhere. It's not quite even. Where's the scene? Well, I don't know if this clock outline's actually centered or not. Assuming it was centered. Oh, and it's not 300 by 300. That's a problem. I need to, again, I have to frame this. I messed up. I have to frame it. I have to say the frame should be 300 by 300. I move the frame back into place. And I gotta recenter the clock outline within that frame, and then I have to re-export it. No, frame one. There we go. That looks better. In fact, we don't really want a fill, do we? Oh, do we need a fill so that we can have a shadow? That's annoying. Maybe I can I? What just happened? I want this to have no fill. No, I guess to have a fill, to have an outline, you must have a fill. Or to have a drop shadow, you must have a fill. That's annoying. God, I have to urinate again. It's too much. Alright, so apparently drop shadows don't work in SVGs within Xcode for some reason. So we learned something new today. Let's run this again. Still looks kind of wonky, doesn't it? It should have all the spacing. All right, I gotta urinate again. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Very proud so far of having the number 5 appear on demand. I mean, amazing. It'd be cooler if it, I mean, what really probably needs to happen, and what I think it does in the video, I think it like rotates to a neutral position. I think they all like rotate to nothing, and then rotate to a number from there. But again, still trying to get out of myself. Really just need to, first we need to get every number working, and then we need to get an actual number readout working. All right, so let's get some of these other numbers in there, just so we can change to other numbers. Okay, all right, so 0. I'll move this out of the way again. So 0, these numbers are wrong. So we know the first one, the minute hand is -90, and the hour hand is 180. And then this next one's minus 270, and the hour hand is also 180. This one, the minute hand is minus 180, and the hour hand is 0. Same thing over here, minus 180 and 0. And then this one looks like the minute hand is minus 90. And the minute hand is minus 270, 0. All right, let's see if this works. We'll do something cool here. Is it working? Just want to make sure I didn't mess up. Let's go over to the scene again. Let's set this to 0. Okay, we've got a 0. Let's create an array with the 2 numbers that we can do. A random element. Alright, so now when we key up, it should pick 0 or 5 and do a random one. 5, 0, 5. So we can already see some problems with this, which is that the clock isn't, clock is moving in random directions. It's going forwards and backwards in time, and it's not really doing the right thing. All right, but for now, let's get some more numbers in there. I wonder how they do 1. We need to go look at some more of how they do things. Oops, clock 25, clock 24. Show me some other numbers. Oh, there's one there. Look at that. All right, so the one, they do something a little interesting there. They make the other ones point at a weird angle. So this one is actually, let's see, what's between 180 and 270? 180 plus 45? 225. So these are both minus 225, minus 225. And then these are both pointed down, so they're both minus 180. And this one's 225 again, minus 225. And then this one is the hour hand. So the minute hand is minus 180, and the hour hand's 0. And then this one, they're both 0, 0. Alright, so let's go back to our game scene. We don't need a view controller. Let's add 1 in here. 0. There's 1. 1 is obviously misconfigured. Oh yeah, because I need another. Okay, got a 0. Got a 5. 0. There we go. We've got a 1. Okay. All right, let's do number 2. Oops. Didn't mean to make that full screen. All right, number 2. This one's minus 90, minus 90. And this is minus 270, minus 180. All right, minute and hour. Yeah, that's right. All right, and then this next one, the minute hand is minus 180 and the hour hand is minus 90. This next one, the minute hand is minus 270 and the hour is at 0. Minute hand's at 0 and the hour hand is at minus 90. And the last one, they're both at minus 270. Okay, that's all 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, let's add number 2. Let's see if we can get it to come up. 5, 1, 0, 5, 1, 0, 1, 2. All right. So we got some squished clocks moving around. They really look a little squished. I don't know if that's my window or it's probably my window size. My window size is probably squished. That looks better, doesn't it? That already looks great. We'll figure out all the window stuff when we get everything else working. All right, so we've got number 2. We need a number 3. 3 should be pretty obvious. Look, there's a number 3 right there. Oops, it's moved. Number 3 looks very similar to our number 1, where we have 3 things in a row that are all in the same direction. All right, so our first one is minus 90, minus 90, and this is going to be happening 3 times. All right, so this one is minus 270, minus 270, minus 180. This one is 0 and minus 270. And then the last one is actually a little bit different. It's minus 270, minus 90. All right, let's do the number 4. We'll just go through and, well, I guess I should test them one by one. It's probably a good idea to keep testing them. But for now, I'm going to comment this out, and I'm going to do cluster set number 2, 3, just so we can really test that our number 3 is coming out without doing the random thing. Okay, that's not quite right. Looks like I messed up the last one. This one should be minus 270. Oh, it should be 0, my bad. Cool. That doesn't look a lot like a number 3 from a distance, but it's as close as a number 3 can get on this thing. So at least that's good. All right, so now we need to do number 4. I could try to figure it out by hand, but I'd really rather just have a visual. There's a 4 right there. Oops. Okay, pretty easy. Pretty simple. First one is minus 180, minus 180. Second one is minus 180, minus 180. Third one is 0, minus 90. Second one is 0, minus 180. And then this next one is that weird one where it's like minus 225, right? Minus 225, minus 225. And then the last one is just 0, 0. Let's make sure that worked. Set number to 4. Run it. And we got our 4. Got a number 4. All right. Let's keep going. We've got number 5 already. We need a number 6. there's a 6. Looks like a G, but it's a 6. All right. Looks like the minute hand. So far every time I've said minute hand on this stream, I've actually meant hour hand, and so all of my numbers so far are reversed. So we're gonna fix that in a quick and easy way by going in and monitoring, editing our clock. No, we're gonna do this minute degrees, hour degrees. Okay, so I should have named these. I should have named them. That's my bad for not naming them, but we can go back in and name them all. Okay, so anyway, so our hour hand, which is the first number, is -180, and our minute hand is -90. They're both -270 here, -270. And then this one, the hour hand is 0, and the minute hand is -180. The next one, the hour hand is -270, and the minute hand is -180. Need a comma. This next one, the minute hand, the hour hand is 0, and the minute hand is -90. And then the last one, the minute hand is 0, the hour hand is 0, and the minute hand is -270. All right, let's make sure that works. 6. Build failed. What did I do wrong? What is it? Oh, I broke something. It should be 0. There we go. All right, so for now, I'm going to make a little comment in here that says tuple format is hour minute. Okay, there we go. All right, does that look right? Looks right to me. Yeah, got the shorter hands at the top of this bottom one. Okay, so 6 is good. We need a 7 now. 7 should be pretty easy. Seven's gonna be like 1, except it's gonna have just one thing straight across, isn't it? Did they ever show us a 7 in this video? There we go, there's a 7. Okay, so it looks exactly like 1, except just a little bit different. So we're gonna copy our cluster from 1 and then take it over here to 7. And in actuality, the first one is -90, and then the second one is -270 to -180, and that should do it. Broke it again. Extra comma. All right, there's our 7. And then an 8 should be pretty easy. There's another 8. Looks real weird. Nice thing about this work is that once we get this, get all these numbers in place, we never really have to think about it ever again. We're always going to have this data. We're doing all the initial data filling, and then we never have to worry about it ever again. All right, so the hour hand is -90, and the minute hand is -180. This one, the minute hand is -270, the hour hand is -180. And then this one, the minute hand is -90, hour hand 0. Same thing here, -270, 0. And this one, the minute hand, or the hour hand is 0, and this is minus 90. And then the minute hand is minus 270. Hour hand is minute hand 0. And that's it. All right, let's make sure this works. Cool. All right, we just need one more. One more, number 9. Number 9, number 9, number 9. I bet number 9 looks, oh look, there's a number 9 right there. Almost the same thing as number 8, but a little bit different. But we'll just copy number 8 and make the needed changes. So something different about number 9 is that the 4th item in the list is no longer minus 270. The first one is 0, and then this is minus 180. And then the second to last one, they're both minus 90. And we got the number 9. All right. So what we can do here now is, I guess I'll just 4. I'm sure there's a better way to do this, but it's just temporary code. Let's run it. And let's go through some random numbers. There's a 1, there's a 0, there's a 5, there's a 2, there's a 1, there's a 9, there's a 7, 3, 1. Cool. All right, so we've got all our numbers. Every number that we need. The clock movement doesn't really make any sense. I mean, right now it's just moving as, you know, however much it needs to make the specific numbers. It's kind of interesting. I wonder if I should do, just for fun, let's see what the movement looks like if I do, there's like a shortest radian calculation. Let's see, what is it? It's like SK action, rotate, shortest unit arc. There we go. All right, so I can just add shortest unit arc, true. Tuples they're lowercase in Swift. I forgot about that. They're Booleans. They're lowercase in Swift. There we go. I feel like that looks better. I mean, this isn't what we want in the end, but this is making the relevant calculations to make sure that they move the shortest amount that they need to get into position. All right, so you might be thinking that's all well and good, but Brad, we really want 4 of these on screen at once. All right, so let's go back to our game scene. We need 4 clusters, so maybe we'll do. For right now, we're just gonna do something really hacky. I'm gonna do cluster 1. Cluster 2, cluster 3, and cluster 4. And we want to make these smaller. So we'll start with cluster 1. And well, let me move that over. Let's see what this looks like. So I really need to like set the window size on load. Is there a way that I can we're sizing it within a super, well, can I do 1080? Wait, 1920 by 1080? What happens if I do this? Okay, so that didn't actually change the window size. I wonder if I can set this window to 1920 by 1080 somehow. Window controller, view controller. Okay, let's do a little Googling. Let's do a little Googling. App delegate. Swift UI. I'm not using Swift UI. There's gotta just be a way for me to change this. There we go. What if I do 1920 by 1080? I need the window controller should not be restorable. Oh, there we go. 1920 by 1080. Yeah, we don't want it to be restorable. We don't want it to be resizable. Let's try this. All right, okay, there we go. We've got a 1920 by 1080 window. Okay, so what's 1920 by, or what's 1920 divided by 4? 480. So we want each of these to, there's like a way to Control Shift E, Control D, no, Control, we'll do 480. 480, 480, 480, and then that's 720. See what that looks like. Okay, it's a big clock. All right, we want the other ones to be on screen too, so 2, 3, 4, and then we've got to set a position for each one. Each one we need to have be like 480 away from the last one, so 150 plus 480, 630. All right, 630 plus 480 is 1, and then 1 plus 480 is 1590. Okay, well, I put all those numbers in the wrong place because I'm a genius. Did I? Did I put them wrong? X's. Oh, derp. 2, 3, 4. All right, we've got 4 clocks all next to each other. They don't really fit. changing numbers at the same time. All right. So we're not telling time yet, but we're very close to telling time. So let's see, I've got 20 minutes left. I bet I can get this to set itself to the current time pretty easily. All right, so what we need let date equals date. It's already set to our current time zone, I'm pretty sure. So we need to get the 4-digit time. Swift date get time in 4 digits. So what we really need, we need HH and MM. Recently did date format stuff and I've already forgotten all of it. So let's go look at one of my recent projects, GitHub.beat. No, it's going to be in one of my controllers. Date formatter, and then date formatter time style. Now, see, I want to be able to do it from a string or something. Let's set localized date format from template. There we go. All right, and then it's HHMM, right? HH and MM. So that should give us let time string equals. How do I get something out of the date formatter? That's a good question. Date formatter, string value, date formatter string from date. String from date. And then we're just going to print it for now. So we just want to make sure that we've got what we want. 8:33 p.m. That's not what I want. Maybe I'll just do this. Date format. Does this work? .0833. Okay, there we go. All right, so what we want to do is we want to split this into integers. Swift split string by character. Split and a string into an array of substrings. String components. Or can you treat a string as an array? Looks pretty easy. let array equals array made out of times string, and then array for each. This is a character. Oh, I guess that's right. Char. And then what we want is we want to actually, this isn't what we want to do. We're gonna be real lazy right now. We're gonna say cluster1 set number to array 0, and we wanted it an integer. All right. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. All right, let's see what happens when I hit. Oh. Can I do that? How do you turn a string into an array? Swift convert string to integer. Int my string. Okay, so what's going on here? What is my array full of? String element. Okay, sorry. Let's make this easy. Convert Swift converts string to array of int. Oh, that looks pretty easy. We're gonna do var array, and then we're gonna do array equals array map int 0. And that works. Let's just check this out. Character's not a string. Maybe that's a good idea. That worked. Okay, so instead of using the cool helper thing, this is always going to turn into an int. I can just force unwrap it. All right, let's try this again. All right, it should change to 838. There we go. Got 838. Doesn't look very good, does it? Oh well. But it's the current time. Wow. All right. Well, there you go. 839. Check that out. So we actually made very good progress in 3 hours. I mean, we have the very beginnings. You know, I feel like we have a lot of the hard parts done. You know, from here, it's getting all the other weird animations and stuff in place, and figuring out how to architect that correctly, and you know, we need some dynamic drop shadows. I'm really tempted to manually create a bunch of sprites, but I really need to kind of nail down the visual appearance better before I start trying to do that shit. You know, look, it's 8:40. Right, well, that's it for me tonight. Thank you for joining up and viewing, if you did, or if you're watching this on YouTube. Thank you for watching on YouTube. I'm sorry that I don't edit my videos so that there are a bunch of pee breaks and other weirdnesses, but whatever. Technically, I'm supposed to be streaming tomorrow night, so I don't know if I'll work on this tomorrow night. I'll probably go back to working on the Laravel RPG tomorrow night, and then either Thursday or Friday night, or maybe sometime during the day on Thursday, I'll work more on this, because there's definitely, you know, quite a few things to do. Even just to get the rudimentary, like getting a very rudimentary ugly screensaver working, you know, I definitely wanted to like automatically update the time, which we could do now. I won't have any cool animations, but at least it would tell the time. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I'm done for the night. Thanks for watching. See you later.